one about a couple of yards short of the end zone, and taking it out for Grossmont College. That's number 11, Kevin Moore, and Moore gets to the far side of the field at the 16, and that's where he's brought out of bounds with 11:32 left to go in the third quarter. 38-0, the Mounties lead. 2 plays for Mount SAC on that drive. 91 yards.
Tolbert and Tolbert again. So we know who their go-to running back is in this game, as Tolbert's touches have kind of jumped up and gone down throughout the season, sharing the backfield with Aaron Bonds and a couple other running backs for the Mounties.
Tony Gates, Brandon Wilson.
Tony Gates, yeah, Brandon Wilson too.
But tonight it's been the Omaris Tolbert show. Grossmont, they'll start at their own 16. Trying to get something on the board. Pistone going to take a shot deep downfield. That time he was going for number 10, Javon Haston, but hold on for just a minute. A couple of late flags fly in. This will probably be pass interference on the Mounties. And in the coverage that time for Mount San Antonio College, it was Darius McKinney, the 5'10 DB out of Thomas Dale High School in nearby Pomona, California.
I think he is one of the second stringers here on the defensive side of the ball, as he had his hands up and in the chest of the receiver.
Well, the only starter I see on defense that's out there right now is Taekwon Glass in the secondary.
You just like saying his name.
I just like saying his name.
Taekwon Glass is a pretty sweet name.
And, of course, you got Sidi Tama Avena. So it is a pass interference against the Mounties. 15 yards will be given to the Griffins here. It'll move the ball up to their own 31. From Hilmer Lodge Stadium, 38-0. The Mounties on top of Grossmont College. After the PI, the Griffins will get it at their own 31. I formation. Pistone drops back to pass. Pressure in his face. Throws to the far side of the field and completes it. It's Paris Miller, the running back, out of the backfield, and he picks up 9 on first down for Grossmont College. We do apologize to each and every one of you listening tonight. We do realize we've been having technical difficulties with the feed cutting in and out. We are unsure of what exactly is the problem, and we're trying to diagnose it, and we'll continue to do so throughout the night. But if you can hear me like you do now, we appreciate you for tuning in here on the Mounties Football Radio Network. Mount SAC 38, Grossmont College nothing. 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Chris Sylvester, Brian Tabajay with you. 2nd and 1 here for Grossmont at their own 39. Pistone will drop back to pass, take a shot down towards the far sideline, and the pass after a couple of juggles is complete. That's number 7, Christopher LaChance again for Grossmont, and he's all the way down inside the 35 of the Mounties to the 34. A highlight reel play for LaChance to move the chains. Mounties perhaps thinking LaChance was out of bounds, but he was able to sustain 1 foot inbounds and maintain possession of that football. And the coverage there for the Mounties, it was number 30, David Rivers. So a lot of the second stringers now in for Mount SAC. Handoff here. This will go to Miller, and Miller up the middle for a pickup of 3 on first down. They're used to. Other running backs are starting to get involved for Grossmont.
Whatever they need to do to adjust and kind of get things going here offensively. You never know who can bring out a spark in this offense. The Griffins looking for something as they're still being shut out here at Hilmer Lodge.
On a 2nd and 8, Pistone will run a play action, throw to the far side of the field, and the pass is hauled in down at the Mountie 15. It's a first down for Grossmont. And a little bit too excited about a pass down 38-0 for Grossmont. That's number 17, Andre Price, but it does move the Griffins into the red zone of the Mounties for the second consecutive offensive possession. The big question mark, and the only one that matters, frankly, can they get into the end zone? Can they put points up on the scoreboard?
Well, you know, the first step into doing that is switching up their quarterback, and they did just that as Pistone's in. His feet, and he's finally pushed out of bounds, and another late flag flies in
This will probably once again be against Mount SAC.
That's penalty number 4 already in the second half. And on their first offensive drive, the Mountie defense already committed 2. So that being the 4th penalty of the second half, Chris, that is not the way you want your defense to continue the rest of the way, because
not at all. Even with these second stringers trying to show that they should get some playing time, and it is a late hit, personal foul against Mount SAC, half the distance to the goal. And for the second straight offensive possession for the Griffins, they're inside the Mountie 10. But can they put points up on the scoreboard this time? First and goal. Ball at the Mountie 4. I formation. Handoff McDonald. He's up the middle. Dives for that goal line. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown for GROSSMONT College. Thomas McDonald, the leading rusher coming into the game for the Griffins, who's been library quiet to this point in the game. Busts one in from 4 yards out. And finally, with 9:23 left to go here in the third quarter, the GROSSMONT Griffins, they are on the scoreboard.
Yeah, McDonald, their leading rusher, very comfortable getting the ball in these type of situations, has a few touchdowns on the season already, and that PAT is almost blocked by the special teams of the Mounties. But Chris, McDonald getting that carry, and that's where they knew the ball was going. Unfortunately for the defense, they did not stop him on that run. But really, the big problem is penalties right now with the defense. The stingy defense that you have already, you're giving all that hard work away when you commit penalties like personal fouls, holding, whatever it may be. These are tedious penalties that always cost, the defense any rhythm with really stopping an offense as a whole.
Well, the Mounties do have that second string defense in, so a lot of young players, a lot of freshmen perhaps, going to have to learn the hard way.
Learning the hard way, they don't have to, they learn the hard way tonight. Coach Jabs will make sure they're
learning the hard way in practice
all week long, too. So
unfortunately for us Southern Californianers, or whatever you want to call us, those SoCal goers, it's not exactly football weather yet. It still feels like summer out there midday here in Walnut the practice field.
I'm just glad it kind of cooled down this weekend.
I'm sure it'll pick back up in the week. Who knows? I'm a broadcaster, not a meteorologist. Is 38-7 our score, 9:23 left to go in the third quarter. It'll be Solomon from his own 6. Gets across the 15, across the 20. This is Aaron Vons. And Vons is past the 35 to the 37. A good gain there, as they'll keep their first stringers in, the Mounties, in the kick return game. And they'll take over at their own 37. Justin Allo looks like he's getting set to head back onto the field with the offense. So the Mounties will keep piling it on GROSSMONT for as long as they can on the offensive side.
Aaron Vons, too, on that return. They had to tackle him pretty much around the neck, it looked like. His big 5'8" frame in Aaron Vons, as speedy as he could be, they had to bring him down creatively right there. Lucky no penalty called on GROSSMONT.
First and 10. Mounties will start at their own 37. Vons, who had the kick return, gets the handoff here and is spun back after a pickup of about 3 yards on first down. Aaron Vons, a touchdown run early in the first quarter in this one. One of 3 Mounties rushing touchdowns on the evening. Justin Allo, a couple of passing TDs to Antoine Anderson and Ryan Simpson so far here tonight. After the pickup of 3 on the ground from Vons, it's 2nd and 7 for the Mounties. They'll go back to the ground once again. This time it's Gates out of the backfield, and Gates taken down for a loss of 1. Will bring up the SAC Dogs are up. 38-7. 8:20 left to go in the third quarter. From Hilmer Lodge Stadium in Walnut, California. This one a snoozer, it seems. This crowd, nothing against them, but boy, have they kind of just been a little bit lackluster here so far tonight. Kind of expecting the blowout. 3rd and 8. Snap is back. Allo steps up in the pocket, throws down the middle And it goes off of the left hand of Christopher Gilchrist and falls to the turf incomplete. And that time a little bit of miscommunication as Allo threw it behind his intended receiver Gilchrist, and the Mounties will be forced to punt 3 and out. And certainly in the second half, if you're Grossmont, you're trying to build some confidence, and you've gotten yourself a stop on defense, and you've gotten yourself your first touch. With mostly freshmen is this Grossmont Griffin team, and on the return here for the punt for the Griffins, it's Javon Haston who hops out of bounds at the 22. 38-7 our score. The Mounties lead. 7:45 left to go in the third quarter from Hilmer Lodge Stadium. And frankly, so far in this second half, we've been just about dead even as far as each team has played. Grossmont will start this drive at their own 22. They trail by 31 points, and it'll be Pistone, the quarterback who did not start the game. Michael Carrillo started, but the Griffin head coach, Mike Jordan, electing to go with the backup Pistone, and he's done a lot better of a job here in the second half as he'll complete another pass out to the far side of the field, and hauling that one in was Dominique Walker for a pickup of 8 on first down.
Pistone just looks comfortable. Carrillo didn't look comfortable the whole half. I don't know if it was a lack of any rhythm in their offense. He just didn't look comfortable the whole half.
Well, here's something I kind of take away from that. You look at a guy like Carrillo, 5'11". We've known plenty of smaller quarterbacks height-wise to have success not only at the junior college level, but you look at guys like Doug Flutie, at the NFL level. I mean, there's been some shorter quarterbacks that have had success, certainly, but
you look at Drew Brees.
I think he's
exactly
6 foot, if that.
And when I was touching on Carrillo, he went 5 of 11, 60 yards. Didn't look comfortable the whole first half.
Well, I think the thing is, what I was going to get to is, you put a guy who's 5'11" under center. That's not going to work most of the time. That's not going to. Yeah. It's not comfortable. 5'11" having to look up at your 6'3" offensive lineman and try to see over the line of scrimmage, yet alone all the Mount SAC Mounties coming at you. So I think if they want Carrillo to succeed in this offense, they might have to change up the scheme.
Run some pistol or just shotgun formation.
We haven't seen shotgun all night from Grossmont.
No, we haven't, yeah.
Mike Jordan, in his 9th year, implementing his system, I guess. 2nd and 8 for the Griffins. At their own 37, they trail 38-7 to Mount SAC. 6:14 left to go here in the third quarter. I formation. Pistone going to drop back to pass, go deep down the middle of the field, and it's picked off by who else but Tyquan Glass. Returns it into Grossmont territory, still on his feet, and finally brought down at the 43. It's Tyquan Glass, the freshman safety at Amir High School in Pasadena, with a big INT of the backup quarterback, Pistone. Mounties get the football back.
And the intended receiver on that play, Shade Simpson, at 6'4". Tyquan Glass jumped over his body and picked it off. As they're taking a knee right now, there's a player on the field, but Tyquan Glass just really elevating to grab that pick thrown from Pistone. So Glass, a very athletic play, and the offensive player is up. He is limping.
That's Caleb Kinnikin, the 6'3", 295 O-lineman freshman out of Silver City, New Mexico.
Whoa.
He's helped off the field on his own power, and it's the second time that Tyquan Glass has forced a turnover this year. Had a fumble recovery against the Chaffee Panthers a couple of weeks ago in the Mounties' last home game, and comes up with the interception there. And into the game for the Mounties, the backup quarterback. It's second.
The Orozco now doing the work.
6'6".
Doing the work for the Mounties is that it's 38-7. So Allo taking a rest